What's up, you guys? Hello again on this wonderful evening. It is pretty rainy outside, kind of a nasty night. It's been pretty cold all day. It's been raining and crappy, and as I'm stuck in my house. So I'm bored, so I've been reading and doing all kinds of research and all kinds of fun stuff. So I thought I'd hop back on here and talk with you guys. If you guys are online, stop on by, drop me a line, let's have a conversation. Something that I find pretty interesting. Let's talk about the definition of recovery and the definition of relapse. Because as you may know, there really isn't a definition of recovery and relapse. Doesn't that kind of blow your mind? Which some people find that, like, I kind of find it a little, what would you say? Is it a little inconvenient? You know, when you're looking for a direct answer. Hey, mama. You're looking for a direct answer as to what is the definition of recovery. You know, I want to know, like, what do I have to do to be in recovery, and what considers a relapse, what's considered a slip, what are these things? And you start having these questions. Well, you're going to find yourself a little baffled, because the thing is, there is no definite definition of recovery, and there is no definite definition of a relapse or a slip. There are different opinions as to what recovery is, and different opinions as to what relapse is, and there's plenty of research into it, but there is no exact written black and white definition of what it actually is, which is a beautiful thing in my opinion, because guess what that means? You get to define your own recovery. So when people say, "Oh, well, you got off heroin and you got off meth, but you're still smoking weed, or you're still doing CBD oil, or you're using kratom, or you're doing this, or you're doing that, you're doing all these what would you call it? Damage reduction drugs. You know what I mean? Like Suboxone, methadone. There's all these other drugs that you get on to wean yourself off of those hardcore drugs, and people are like, "Well, then you're not in recovery." Bullshit. Recovery is defined by you. Therefore, you make your own recovery. We all recover our own way. We all go through a different process. Some people go straight from their drug of choice, or DOC as we call it. Some people go straight from that, drop everything, go right to 100% clean. And that is beautiful. You have the most willpower I've ever heard of in the world. I didn't do that. I couldn't do that. I went down from meth. I went down to marijuana for like the first year of recovery. I was using marijuana to get through it, which in 3 hours, I will be 30 days completely substance free. That blows my mind too. I didn't think I could do it, honestly, with anxiety, depression, ADHD, all the other things that I got going on that I use marijuana to medicate through. But I had to, because I was going on this ankle bracelet. So, I mean, it was a little bit of a forced quit. You know, I didn't quite just say, I want to stop. But at the same time, towards the end of my marijuana use, I was down to such little marijuana use. I was no longer doing the whole smoking joints and smoking bowls. If I would have smoked a whole bowl, welcome to sitting there watching Scooby-Doo being retarded for 2 hours. I couldn't even do it anymore. So I was down to maybe taking a hit in the morning and then a hit in the evening, and as my anxiety would kick in, I would take a hit. But with the tips and the progress that I've made in my own recovery from meth, I was able to step away from marijuana, and I stepped down gradually down, you know, a little less, little less, little less. And I dropped my dosage down to the point where it wasn't even a thought anymore, really. And now, boom, 30 days here and haven't used a damn thing. And I feel great. I really do. I mean, I wouldn't say that the marijuana was inhibiting me much, other than now my brain seems a little clearer. I don't make those stoner mistakes, as you would call them. You know, like when when I would be at work and I would have taken a couple hits that day. I'd be at work and I'd be like walking to the end of my line, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, why did I come down here? Oh yeah, I came down here to grab screws. And I'm like, wait, the screws are over there. Why did I even come down here if I was going for screws? Like those little stoner mistakes, I'm not making those anymore. I'm very boom, boom, boom on my game. So I'm very thankful for that. We're doing good that way. The other thing I was going to talk about, the definition of a relapse or a slip. Another thing that is very not definable. It is not written down what a relapse is. Now, there are some different ideas as to what a relapse is. The way I consider a relapse, you guys seem to love my opinion, so I'll tell you what I consider a relapse. A relapse is a step is a 3-step process. Your first step in relapse is when you first start thinking about your drug of choice and you start thinking that you're going to get something. That's the first step into a relapse. The second step in a relapse is when you actually start seeking it to get it, when you start making the calls, making the texts, getting on your Facebook or getting on whatever you're getting on, and you're actually like physically looking for your drug. That's your second step in relapse. Your third step in relapse is the actual use of the drug. Now, the third step in relapse can be, let's see, how could I define this? Because this is the difference between, in my mind, this is the difference between a slip and a relapse. A slip is just somebody had the drug right in front of you, or it was right there, and you were like, all right, I'm going to hit that, and you hit it, and then you were like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't have done that, shit, back off, run away, and you cut and run. That's a slip. That's just a quick, damn, which, I don't know, you can decide on your own if you really think you want to reset your clean time counter on that one. A lot of people will probably be like, you have to, you go back to day 0. Myself, I don't know if I would reset my entire clean time counter over a slip. A relapse, however, is definitely a reset. That is a total mental use. You used it again. You actually thought about it, seeked it, got it, and used it again. That's a relapse. Now, that would totally reset your counter. In the beginning of recovery, and see, like I said, all of this is just up in the air because there is no definite definition of recovery. There is no definite definition of a relapse. So therefore, all of this is kind of how you make it, which I think is beautiful. Some people might not think that's so beautiful. They might want that black and white written down, what is a relapse? They want to know that. And that's, if you really want that, you can go online, you can search, you can look. I mean, you're going to find many different definitions of what different people think a relapse is, what different people think recovery is. But there isn't like an exact Webster's dictionary definition of these things. So you can decide on your own what you think, what you like, what you want to go with. But myself, if you go into relapse, then you're definitely resetting your counter. I'll tell you that right now. A slip, I guess if the slip was bad enough, then you should probably reset your counter. But you get to decide that on your own. No one else defines your recovery for you. That's a beautiful thing, I think. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if you guys think of, what you define your recovery as, what you define relapse as. Should you reset your recovery time if you do have a slip? Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you. Once again, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay clean. I love you. Later.